when everything is caving in on you, or if there is a huge struggle that you're trying to face in your business, or things aren't quite lining up the way that they should, or things are just never going your way. Or maybe you're trying to reinvent yourself into a totally different space, how you show up, what you do. At the end of all of that, really what you should always come back to is the primary premise around your branding. And it actually can be as simple as that. It doesn't actually have to be complicated. You don't have to find some, really over-the-top kind of orchestrated system that you use to problem solve your way through your business. But my belief is that a lot of the challenges that we face as business owners actually comes back to the primary premise of brand identity, brand personality, brand messaging, the brand ecosystem. And there'll be other people who will argue against that and say, well, that's not true. It actually has a lot more to do with other things than just that. But when you really think about it, if you are trying to bring in more work into your business, you actually go back to your brand identity. You go back to the brand concept initially of what it all is about, what you stand for and what your messaging is, and how you write about what you do, and how you take people through the process, the journey with you. If you're trying to bring more sales into your business, a lot of the time you really need to go back to the brand premise of really what is this brand all about and what are we trying to do here? It's kind of like building blocks, those Lego building block sets that you can get that are really quite involved these days. Lots of fun ones out there. At the end of the day, they all begin with this one building block, like this one block that everything starts from. And it could be any of the blocks. It could be any of them really, but it's one single block that it starts with each and every time. An artist who is painting, they start with the basics of the canvas and the paints and the paintbrushes. You try to make a meal or bake something. You always have to start with the ingredients. You can't fast forward through that. There's just no way. I mean, maybe someday we'll be able to do that. Or maybe we'll be able to create things from nothing eventually. Who knows? But the thing is that if you look around you, there are lots of examples of how you solve puzzles and challenges and questions and how you move through an adventure, how you unfold a concept that's so big that you don't even know where to start. Well, you start with that first block. And I say to my clients whenever they're asking me, for clarity around something in their business, it might be around, the content that they're creating or the marketing messaging in their next campaign, or maybe it is their sales funnel and what they should be putting on their page. I always say to them, go back to the basics of what we've worked on. And for me, a lot of the basics come around, really are centered around your obsession point. Now, some branding and marketing specialists would say that is your niche. I would say not. I don't want you to niche. I actually want you to get super clear on your obsession point. And when you get that word clear, when it actually drops in, you'll know. We will both know. Like I was on a call yesterday and I was talking through my process that I do with my clients to try and get to that obsession word for my client. And we'd been throwing around names and words for, a couple of months actually trying to get to the heart of this. And her business is a little bit different. It's not your usual, it's not your obvious kind of work that you do. And it's very conservative type of work. But when we got to the word yesterday, that combo of words that we got for her, I got goosebumps, and I could see on her face it just landed differently for her. And I knew in that moment that was her word. That was the key phrase, the key term, the key center point to everything. And everything unfolds from that. Everything unravels from that. All of the offers, who you're actually speaking to as an ideal customer, any kind of collaterals you create, what your website says, what kind of offers you're going to create at certain times of the year, how you're going to maneuver and nurture and communicate and connect to different people, all comes from this word. And it influences your brand personality. It influences your brand voice. It impacts you on a way where it becomes this guiding light, this steering of the ship in the direction that you want it to be in. And I just think it's really potent work, and I love it because it's that first block. It's that first block. It's that canvas that we start to paint everything on. And this is the mistake I see a lot of business owners make and are making right now when they're trying to find different ways to build and grow or reinvent themselves, is that they're getting caught up in a lot of the things that you do after you've actually reclarified what is that word for you. And that word will influence the culture of your business. It will influence how you build this ecosystem of offers, all of it. So when you are looking at your business over the next few weeks and months, and you're trying to work out how you're going to step forward next, what do you do next? What do you prioritize next? My suggestion would be is don't get caught up in that. Don't get distracted by that. Come back to working out the foundations first and get support for that, because a lot of the time you'll be so close to it that you can't see it because you're so close to it. I have trouble doing this for myself because I'm so close to it. You need other people around you who can reflect back without bias and without influence what they are seeing as the trends in your brand and how it presents itself. And the brand obsession word and the brand obsession theme and context is going to be the thing that unlocks everything for you. Just start with that one first block.